Hi students, and welcome to this lecture. We have talked about the term differentiation so many times. We have used this mathematical tool to calculate the sum of series expansion. We have applied this in mechanics to calculate the velocity, acceleration of a particle. We have studied chemical kinetics and radioactivity with the help of differentiation. But now those were some simple functions whose differentiation was an easy task. But what if I say velocity is expressed as a very complex function of time? So, this lecture aims to make you understand the fundamental rules of differentiation, their physical meaning, and the various methods to differentiate some very complex functions. So let's quickly begin this lecture. So first of all, what do we mean by differentiation? Differentiation is the process of finding the derivative of any function at any point. But now what is derivative? Derivative is the rate of change of one quantity with respect to the other quantity. Now one quantity is the independent quantity and the other is the dependent quantity. So we can say that derivative is the rate of change of the dependent quantity with respect to the change in the independent quantity. And this very process of finding the derivative is called as differentiation. Now let's look at the very fundamental method to find the derivative of any function at any point. This is called as the first principle. Now we know that f dash x is equal to the limit of f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h when h tends to 0. Now if any function is derivable at any point x, then f dash x is equal to the limit of f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h when h tends to 0. Now let us say that y equal to fx is any function. Now y is the dependent quantity and x is the independent variable. So the value of y depends on the value of x. Now let us say that there is a small change in the value of x by delta x. So if there is a very small or minor change in the value of x, which we call as delta x, then correspondingly there is a small change in the value of y. Let it be by delta y. So we see that y plus delta y would be equal to f of x plus delta x. So from this and this we get delta y equal to f of x plus delta x minus f of x. So we can say that delta y is equal to the change in the value of function when the independent variable changes from x to x plus delta x. Now we divide delta y by delta x, which would be equal to f of x plus delta x minus fx divided by delta x. Now if we say that delta x is very small, or we can say that delta x tends to 0, then we can write limit of delta y by delta x when delta x tends to 0 is equal to f dash x, which is the derivative of fx at any point. Now the derivative of any function at any point is denoted by dy by dx. That is the change in the value of y with respect to change in the value of x when the change in the x is very close to 0 or delta x tends to 0. So now let us try to find out the differentials of some very standard functions. So the first one is a constant function. We know that y equal to fx equal to c is a constant function. That is, the value of y would always be equal to c in spite of any value of x. So f dash x would be equal to limit of f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h when h tends to 0. Now f of x plus h would be equal to c and fx would also be equal to c because this is a constant function. Hence the value of f of x plus h is equal to f of x. So this is equal to 0 and hence we can say that f dash x is equal to 0. So the differential coefficient of any constant function is equal to 0. The next is finding the derivative of y equal to x to the power of n. Now again we are going to use the first principle of differentiation to find the derivative of y equal to x to the power of n, where n is any number. Now given that y equal to x to the power of n, so f dash x would be equal to limit of x plus h to the power of n minus x to the power of n divided by h when h tends to 0. Now in the chapter on binomial expansion, we have seen the expansion of x plus h to the power of n. This is equal to x to the power of n plus nc1 into h into x to the power of n minus 1 plus nc2 into h square into x to the power of n minus 2 and so on up to h to the power of n. This is the expansion for x plus h to the power of n. Now what we are going to do is we are going to put this value of x plus h to the power of n here. So x to the power of n gets cancelled and what we get is f dash x equal to limit of nc1 into h into x to the power of n minus 1 plus nc2 into h square into x to the power of n minus 2 and so on up to h to the power of n whole divided by h when h tends to 0. Now we take h common from this expression and the h from the numerator and denominator gets cancelled. So what we get is limit of nc1 into x to the power of n minus 1 plus nc2 into h into x to the power of n minus 2 and so on up to h to the power of n minus 1 when h tends to 0. Now in the next step we put the value of h equal to 0 in this expression and except this term all these terms become equal to 0. So the value of f dash x is equal to nc1 into x to the power of n minus 1. Now nc1 is equal to n factorial divided by n minus 1 factorial which is equal to n. So the value of f dash x is equal to n into x to the power of n minus 1. Thus the derivative of y equal to x to the power of n is equal to n into x to the power of n minus 1. So similarly, using the first principle, we can find the derivatives of trigonometric functions, logarithmic functions, exponential functions and all the algebraic functions. Now let us look at some standard differentials of some standard functions. This column represents y equal to f of x and this column represents its derivative. So if y is a constant function, then dy by dx is equal to 0. If y is equal to x to the power of n, then dy by dx is equal to n into x to the power of n minus 1. If y is equal to e to the power of x, that is exponential function, then dy by dx is also equal to e to the power of x. That is, the derivative of e to the power of x is the same as the function y equal to e to the power of x. Similarly, if y is equal to a to the power of x, then dy by dx is equal to a to the power of x into ln a. If y is equal to ln of mod x, then dy by dx is equal to 1 by x. If y is equal to log of mod x when the base is a, then dy by dx is equal to 1 by x into ln a. Now let's see the derivatives of trigonometric functions. If y is equal to sin x, then its derivative is cos x. If y is equal to cos x, then dy by dx is equal to minus sin x. If y is equal to tan x, then dy by dx is equal to sec square x. If y is equal to cot x, then dy by dx is equal to cos x square x. The differential coefficient of sec x is tan x into sec x, and similarly the differential coefficient of cos x is minus cos sec x into cot x. These are some of the very standard differentials of some very standard functions. So it is very much important for you students to remember all these differentials. Even if someone wakes you up in the night and asks you the differentials of these functions, you should be able to tell the differentials of all these functions. So please learn them by heart. Now let's look at the basic rules of differentiation. The first is d by dx of fx plus minus gx is equal to d by dx of fx plus minus d by dx of gx. That is, the differential coefficient of the sum or the difference of two functions is equal to the differential coefficient of the first function plus minus the differential coefficient of the second function. The second is d by dx of fx into gx is equal to fx into g dash x plus gx into f dash x. That is, we multiply the first function with the differential coefficient of the second function plus we multiply the second function with the differential coefficient of the first function. The third is d by dx of f by g. Now if any function is of the form of fx by gx, so the differential coefficient is equal to gx into f dash x minus g dash x into fx divided by gx whole square. That is, the differential coefficient of any function of the form f by g is equal to denominator into the differential coefficient of the numerator minus the differential coefficient of the denominator into numerator whole divided by the square of denominator. This is also called as the quotient rule. The fourth is d by dx of f of g of x. So if we have a composite function, then the differential coefficient is equal to f dash of g of x into g dash x. Now this is a very important rule and it is called as the chain rule of differentiation. Now why does this happen? Let's see the proof of this. Let us say that y is equal to f of g of x. Let z is equal to g of x. Then dz by dx would be equal to g dash x. And this would be y equal to f of z. Now dy by dz would be equal to f dash z, and that is equal to f dash of gx. Now dy by dx would be equal to dy by dz multiplied by dz by dx. Now we know that dy by dx is equal to f dash of g of x into dz by dx is equal to g dash x. Thus we see that dy by dx is equal to f dash of gx into g dash of x, and this is known as the chain rule of differentiation. Thus dy by dx is equal to f dash of gx into g dash x. Now let us solve an IIT problem. This appeared in 1978 and differentiate from the first principle sine of x square plus 1. So the function given to us is sine of x square plus 1, and we have to differentiate this function from the first principle. So fx is equal to sine of x square plus 1. Now f dash x from the first principle would be equal to limit of sine of x plus h whole square plus 1 minus sine of x square plus 1 whole divided by h when h tends to 0. Now we know that sine of a minus sine of b is equal to 2 times cos of a plus b by 2 into sine of a minus b by 2. This is once again a basic trigonometric identity. Now we use this identity here and get the expression as 2 times cos of x square plus h square plus 2x into h plus 1 plus x square plus 1 whole divided by 2 into sine of h square plus 2x into h divided by 2. Now this is again whole divided by h, and h tends to 0. Now when h tends to 0, we get f dash x equal to 2 times cos of x square plus 1, because these two terms will be equal to 0 and this would be equal to x square plus 1. Thus we get the expression as 2 times cos of x square plus 1 into the limit of this expression sine of h square by 2 plus xh whole divided by h when h tends to 0. We take the limit of this expression. For that, we multiply and divide this expression by h square by 2 plus xh, and as we know that sin x by x is equal to 1 when x tends to 0, so this expression would be equal to 1. And in this expression we take out h as common, and h gets cancelled, and when we put h equal to 0 here, we get the limit as equal to x. So the limit of this expression is equal to x. Hence f dash x is equal to dy by dx, which is equal to 2 times cos of x square plus 1 into x, or equal to 2x into cos of x square plus 1. Now let's solve one more problem. Find f dash x for fx equal to cos x into ln x plus tan x divided by x, and part B is fx equal to log of sine of x square plus 1 divided by x minus 1. So in this problem we have to find f dash x. So let's try to solve the first part. Fx is equal to cos x into ln x plus tan x divided by x. Let us say that gx is equal to this expression, that is cos x into ln x. Now we use the product rule here, that is we differentiate this function with respect to x in the following way. This gets differentiated to minus sin x into this function ln x, plus we keep this function as it is cos x into we differentiate this function, and the differential coefficient is equal to 1 by x. Hence g dash x would be equal to minus sin x into ln x plus cos x into 1 by x. Now hx is equal to tan x by x. Now we use the quotient rule here, and h dash x would be equal to x into differential coefficient of this expression, that is sec square x, minus tan x into the differential coefficient of x would be equal to 1. So this gets multiplied by 1 and whole divided by x square. So f dash x would be equal to g dash x plus h dash x, or f dash x is equal to minus sin x into ln x plus cos x by x plus x times sec square x minus tan x whole divided by x. So this is the value of f dash x when fx is equal to cos x into ln x plus tan x divided by x. Let's try to solve the second part. Fx is equal to log of sine of x square plus 1 whole divided by x minus 1. So we see that this is a composite function, and we apply the chain rule here to get f dash x. Now log of x is equal to 1 by x, so this would be equal to 1 by sine of x square plus 1 divided by x minus 1 into the differential coefficient of sine x is cos x, so this gets equal to cos of x square plus 1 divided by x minus 1, and the differential coefficient of x square plus 1 divided by x minus 1 would be x minus 1 into 2x minus x square plus 1 divided by x minus 1 whole square. So as such, this expression is nothing but cot of x square plus 1 divided by x minus 1 into this expression reduces to x square minus 2x minus 1, and we have x minus 1 whole square in the denominator. So f dash x would be equal to cot of x square plus 1 divided by x minus 1 into x square minus 2x minus 1 whole divided by x minus 1 whole square.